Hey guys, for a few weeks now I have a very secret project in my garage and I think it's finally time to show you. I'm kind of excited, so let's take a look. Ta-da!
Oh my goodness gracious, what the heck is that?
So this obscure little vehicle here is called a CityEl. It's from 1933, so it's about my age. And I got it by pure accident. It was last driven in 2004 and I'm now trying to renovate it to get it back to driving. And the most fun part of this cute thing is it always drove electric.
Der CityEl passt immer, passt in jede Lücke. Der CityEl bietet genug Platz.
At the time it drove on lead batteries and now I matched it to Leaf Hippo 4 batteries. And yeah, let's maybe have a little tour around the vehicle. I think it's close to being allowed back on the streets. A few minor things are missing, but let's see how it goes. So this is the trunk without the cover and you can see all 4 batteries. When it came out of the factory, I think it had 3 usually, so it was running on 38 volts. So it had 3 batteries in the same arrangement as here. This is the original electric motor and this is an extra battery. And the owner before me already had modded the car to 48 volts. The CityEl should technically be able to drive, I think, around 70 kilometers per hour. In the documents it states 65. I've seen a lot of videos where people go about 70, but I think, you know, it's not the most stable vehicle, so I think that's really top speed. And I'm also interested to see on how the range changed with the new batteries. I think the old ones drove about 50 kilometers, and what I've read is that this configuration should give me around 100 kilometers. Let's see. So what we also have in here is a smart shunt that measures the current state of charge of the batteries. So I have put all cables and display up to the front so I can see stats and ampere draws and stuff of the current system. And also a big and heavy shut-off to disconnect the batteries from the whole system while I'm working on the vehicle. So we can carefully remove the seat. There's also electronic below the seat. So let's first get rid of the main seat and then we can open up here. So the area below the seat looks super different now from when I got the vehicle. Usually here would be electronics for the charging system. Then there were 2 other PCBs. One I actually still have. One was basically what is now my smart shunt. So it was a PCB that was only there for guessing or trying to measure the state of charge of the lead battery system. It was, from what I've read, it was quite flawed and a lot of people just bridged it and kept it without use. And then there was also a DC-DC converter that I killed during working on the car.
War unglücklich jetzt gerade. Ich glaube, jetzt ist eine Sicherung geflogen, würde ich sagen. Der zeigt kein Ampere mehr an.
So I got a new one. This is now another Victron DC-DC charger that basically converts the battery volts to the voltages I need for the lights and for different electronics in the front side of the car. So this down here was a horrible mess of wires. Really most of the stuff could be stripped. I'm super happy how clean this now looks actually in comparison. Oh, and a tiny thing is new here, and this is a little USB-C USB charger because I thought maybe I'm driving somewhere and just want to charge my phone or my laptop. So power delivery USB-C is up in here. Alright, this is what it looks when you're sitting in the inside. This one is actually CityEl version with the cabrio top part. There were, I think, 3 different ones. There's a cabrio, there's the fully closed one, and there's one where you can only open up the middle half, basically, this part. So this is what we got. It's quite minimalistic, actually. Emergency light, ventilator, heating, lights, emergency shut off, air ventilation, inside-outside switch. And this is the drive direction switch. So we are in neutral, basically, currently. And we can put it up and down for different directions. And this part here should have actually a spring to hold it in place. So you would need to push down and then you could switch direction. This is broken currently. And then all your stats, you can see it has quite some kilometers already on it. And here are some holes. Here we had displays from the current owner for the capacity, for the old capacity meter. So it had displays for volts and amperes here. So the construction below is actually really interesting. So here's a direct connection from the steering wheel goes down. Braking fluid here, gas brakes. You have all the fuses and a cover for the PCB beneath that does all the front part car electric controlling. And what I think would be super neat in the future is to have the data from the smart shunt mapped back on the old display that is currently out of use. I mean, most part works, so the speedometer works, but not the battery charge meter. That's gone, of course, because I took out the old PCB. But I've seen people using an ESP and grabbing the information from this Victron smart shunt thingy. And then it would be cool to just map it back onto the display. I'm not sure if it's really worth the hassle, but on the other hand, you know, reviving these old parts, I think brings back a lot of the charm of this funky device. And I'm also really happy to say that I could do my first little test drive around the garden. So everything so far, from what I can say, it works. And I now need to finish a few little things. So for example, the water container for the window wipers is missing. And there's a lot of rust actually in the backside where the batteries are sitting. So this battery carrying construction, I'm not sure if I need to fully replace it or if I can get rid of most of the rust and make it workable again. I'm not fully decided on it yet. And what I find actually super funny is this weird centered front light. This such an unique, iconic look for this vehicle. It's so funky. What do you think? Is it worth keeping such an old funky car? What color would you give it? I'm thinking about buying some car wrapping foil and either going full retro or full Havoc. Not sure about that yet. So yeah, if you find this interesting, maybe consider subscribing my channel. I'm pretty sure there will be an update video on this little neat project, or you will see me driving around that in Germany in the future. Alright then, see you until next time. Goodbye.